The greatest show of all time. No, it's not Friends. No, it's not The Office or Breaking Bad or some crap like that. It is School Spirits, the #1 show on Paramount Plus. Season 2 just came out like a couple weeks ago, but then I realized some people might have not seen Season 1. So I thought we'd do a quick review of Season 1 first before I do a video on Season 2. So let's start off with the main character, Madison Years, who was a senior at Split River before she woke up in the afterlife with no memory of how she got there. The show starts with her meeting Charlie, another spirit that died at Split River from a peanut allergy in the 90s. They talk for a bit and then he takes her to this like AA meeting type thing, which is being run by Mr. Martin, who was the chemistry teacher at Split River back in the 50s. And at this meeting is where we meet the other two main spirits. There's Rhonda, a girl who was murdered by her guidance counselor, Mr. Manfredo, in the 60s, and Wally, a football player who got his neck snapped during the homecoming game in 1983. Now, she assumed she was murdered because when she woke up in the boiler room, she saw her blood on the wall. So the whole point of Season 1 is her trying to figure out who killed her. But there's two key points to the Split River High afterlife. The first one is that you can't leave the school grounds, and if you try, you get sent back to the place where you died. And the second one is that the living cannot see or hear you, and any object in the living world that the spirits move or interact with resets to how it was before they mess with it. But there's a couple scenes in the show that make me a little confused on how that second point works.
And I don't really think I need to take advice from someone who looks like they're headed to aerobics class.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm glad I had this in my locker, or else I would have been rocking shoulder pads, which would have sucked, because I think those are totally out now.
Is there a problem?
He always leaves me with the worst one.
What do you mean? Lemon glazed.
Nobody wants a lemon donut. The subject is entitlement.
Oh, okay, I'm entitled, because I like anything filled with jelly. Yeah, that
You
makes
take
sense.
the last jelly, I will rip off your arm and beat you with the wet end.
Rhonda, I'm the one that boosted these from the faculty lounge in the first place. You
Guys.
should be grateful.
Guys,
okay?
we're talking Nirvana.
Old Durham.
Too much baseball.
Okay, The Natural.
Way too much baseball.
Boom, we got it. Rad Racing.
Oh, is that the one where they do the BMX bike ballet at the school dance?
Freaking amazing.
Oh, no, it's absolutely not, though. Sorry.
So because of those key points, she's going to need a little help.
Thank you, Simon.
Simon?
But the show doesn't really explain how this is possible. I think they tried once, but it was very vague and not helpful.
1 minute, Simon and I are talking like nothing ever happened, and then the next minute we step into the hall and I'm gone. Done. A memory he can't see or hear.
Maybe it just comes in waves. Maybe if that person truly can't let you go, there's moments when they can still see and hear you.
Which brings me to my next point, that every episode ends in a cliffhanger. The main cliffhanger they use in Season 1 is a new suspect being brought into the picture. So after every episode, a new strand of red yarn gets added to the bulletin board. Which is not only annoying for Maddie, it's also annoying for people who don't like cliffhangers. The first 7 cliffhangers weren't that annoying because when I watched Season 1, all 8 episodes were out, so I could just binge it all in one day. But for the last episode, I had to wait 2 years to find out what happened. And that was the longest 2 years of my life. I'm not the type of person that usually gets annoyed by cliffhangers, but for some reason this show's cliffhangers just frustrate me. And I don't know why. Maybe the show has just mastered the cliffhanger, or maybe I'm just really invested in the plot. Now let's skip to the end of the season where another spirit named Dawn, who died from an electric shock in the 70s, crosses over. And I think I'll let Charlie explain what crossing over is.
But there may be a way forward.
What? Forward where?
You know, great beyond, onward, upward, wherever that may be. We're all just trying to cross over, which is why it is important to stick together. I mean, Janet did it, and she'd been here since 1960.
And when she crossed over, all the other spirits were confused because the lights went all crazy and they got goosebumps, which didn't happen when Janet crossed over, who was the first and only spirit to cross over before that, which made them curious about what was really going on. So they go to Mr. Martin for answers.
Was there anything weird about the day that Janet departed?
Was there any weird sounds or lights?
No, there was nothing strange about the day that Janet crossed over. She was simply there one moment and gone the next. I'm not sure why this is any different.
That doesn't make any sense.
I realize how disappointing it is not to have all the answers. I wish I could be of more help, but this is unprecedented. I wish I had more answers. I don't.
So they didn't get the answers they were looking for from him, so they go to the Fallout Shelter for more information. They find out that Janet died in the same fire that killed Mr. Martin. They were under the assumption that Janet died after Mr. Martin because that's what Janet and Mr. Martin told them. But he wasn't just lying about Janet crossing over and when and how she died. He was also keeping tabs on the other spirits and collecting the objects they had with them when they died. But before we can continue, I have to talk about the flashbacks. The show does these flashback scenes so that we can see Maddie regain her memory over time and learn more about her life. But Maddie's not the only one who gets these flashback scenes. The spirits also get them so that we can learn more about their backstory and what their life was like before they died. It's a cool plot device the show uses to get you more attached to the characters, and the way they transition from the present to flashback I thought was very cool and unique. Instead of doing the corny sitcom thing where the character looks up and then they cut to the flashback using a crappy dissolve transition or something, this show just changes the aspect ratio, which is a much simpler and cooler way of doing it that I've never seen any other show do before. Which is surprising because it doesn't seem like the type of thing that would be revolutionary, but I think it is. But anyway, let's get back to the show. So the Fallout shelter locks, and Rhonda, Charlie, and Wally are now trapped. And over in the B plot, Simon just showed Maddie a picture of herself that was just taken out in the living world. So now Simon thinks Maddie is just some fucked up coping mechanism, as he puts it.
Please, Simon. I know I can't explain what's going on, Simon, but I am here, Simon. You're not crazy. Simon!
You have to find out exactly what happened. What did you feel? You have to tell me. You have to.
Be careful.
Don't move, Janet. No, no.
I don't want to die too soon. I think there's good in.
I'm here.
Maddie!
Try to open the door.
Maddie, the back hatch is stuck too. We can't move it.
Maddie, be careful, please. You can't trust him.
Trust who?
Voice in the matter. Why would I?
You need a name for the ticket purchase? Janet? Or Maddie?
6 feet.
It's Maddie.
And that's how season 1 ends. This was just a quick review of season 1 because I wanted to do a review on season 2. But yeah, I thought season 1 was pretty good, but now that season 2 is out, I definitely changed my mind. I like season 2 a lot better. That video will be out probably sometime next week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.